This is inner motion. We don't run from the dark. We walk straight into it and we come out unrecognizable. You think you're a good person because you mean well, because you try your best, because you have potential. But let me tell you something cold, something ugly, something real. The world doesn't care what you mean. The world only sees what you do. You're not what you think, you're not what you feel, you're not what you hope to become. You are what you choose right now, in this moment, and in every moment after this one. That's the brutal truth people run from, but it's also the key to power. You don't magically become disciplined. You don't suddenly wake up as a better version of yourself. You build that version choice by choice, day by day, in silence, when no one's watching. You want self-respect? Earn it. You want a powerful identity? Then stop making weak choices. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip the gym, every time you lie to yourself, that's a vote for the man who's lazy, untrustworthy, and soft. And the more votes you give him, the stronger he becomes. That man, the weak one, he doesn't need to fight you. You're feeding him, you're becoming him, and he's killing the real you in silence. People keep asking, how do I find myself? What's my purpose? Who am I supposed to be? But the real answer? You're not supposed to be anything. You are what you've built. You are the sum of your actions. And that's both terrifying and liberating. Because it means this: you're not stuck, you're not broken, you're just not choosing like someone who respects themselves yet. Here's what they don't tell you. Your habits don't just shape your life, they shape your identity. Brushing your teeth, journaling, hitting your workouts. They're not small routines. They're character-building rituals. Skipping them isn't just laziness. It's betrayal. Betrayal of the version of you say you want to become. Think of identity like a mirror, but the reflection isn't passive. It's built. It's constructed. Every brick laid down with a decision you made, or a decision you avoided. You think discipline is just for success. No, discipline is how you create a man you don't cringe at when you're alone. Let that sink in. Most people hate themselves in silence because they know they've voted for the wrong version of themselves too many times. And the shame becomes unbearable, so they numb it. Scroll, binge, sleep in, repeat, until one day they don't even recognize the person in the mirror. They see a stranger. Weak eyes, slouched posture, mind full of excuses, heart full of regret, and they lie to themselves again. Tomorrow, I'll change. Next week, I'll get serious. But every delay is another vote for the same version they're trying to escape. This is what people don't understand. You're not failing because you're broken. You're failing because you keep choosing from the same broken pattern. You've trained yourself to avoid discomfort, to chase ease, to run from effort, to reward weakness. And your identity, it adapts to survive. It conforms to the environment you've built, even if that environment is poison. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards, and standards are built in silence. When no one's cheering, when there's no deadline, just you, your alarm clock, and your discipline. You think the man who trains daily is lucky. No, he chose again and again and again until the choice became who he was. Now it's not willpower, it's identity. Now it's not motivation, it's instinct. Because he cast so many votes for the man he wanted to be, that there's no room left for the man he used to be. So here's the truth. Every choice is a ballot. Every moment is an election. And the winner isn't the one with dreams. It's the one with consistency. You want to stop being insecure? Then stop doing insecure things. You want to stop feeling weak? Then stop choosing like a weak man. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. If your choices aren't taking you closer to who you respect, they're taking you further away, and you'll wake up one day realizing you didn't lose the life you wanted. You chose the one you have. Step by step, by avoiding the hard path, by picking what was comfortable and calling it good enough. Asterisk, most people don't need more motivation. They need a new identity. And you don't get that from books or speeches or some fake productivity hack. You get it from choosing what's hard, over and over, until it becomes who you are. Comfort is the silent killer. It whispers, take the shortcut, rest a little longer, you've done enough. And if you keep listening, it becomes your identity, not just a habit, not just a moment of rest, but a way of existing. Comfort rewires your brain to associate ease with safety and effort with danger. But effort is not dangerous. It's where you build self-respect. It's where you meet the version of yourself that you admire. Character is not built when you feel good. It's built when everything in you wants to quit, but you don't. When you push anyway. When you don't negotiate with weakness. The gym rep you skip. The study session you avoid. The uncomfortable conversation you postpone. They all compound. They tell your subconscious, I'm the kind of person who runs, and you will believe it. And worse, you'll start to defend it. You'll start saying, that's just who I am. No, it's not. That's who you've become because you stopped choosing who you want to be. The truth is, no one is coming to pull you out of that comfort zone. No one is going to carry you to greatness. If you want it, you walk there, bleeding, crawling, alone. And when you do, you earn something far better than praise. You earn identity, real identity. Not the fake kind people build online, not the filtered, curated mask, but the kind you feel deep in your chest when no one's around, when your head hits the pillow, and you know I kept my promise today. I trained, I studied, I pushed through. I showed up. That's where the real confidence lives, in quiet consistency. Not in loud ambition, not in pretty vision boards, but in the ugly moments where you wanted to break and DIDN. Single quotes it. So if you're tired of being lost, stop asking what's wrong with you and start asking what you've been choosing. What choices built this version of you, and what choices would build a better one? You don't fix identity, you replace it. One decision at a time, and every one of them is a chance. To vote for the man you want to become, or the man you swore you'd never be again. What you tolerate, you become. Not overnight, but eventually. Every time you let it slide, the excuse, the bad habit, the laziness, you're not just avoiding conflict, you're casting a vote. You're agreeing, this is fine. I can live with this. But you shouldn't. You were meant to rise, not rot. You were meant to build, not bend. You were meant to become something unbreakable, and that requires confrontation. If you want strength, you need standards. And standards are enforced through behavior, not beliefs. Anyone can say they have high standards, but the man who lives them, he's the one who corrects himself when no one's watching. You correct the drift. You call yourself out. You shut down the inner voice that says, it's okay, just once. Because just once becomes just always. And the man you could have, become, gets buried under compromise. You think tolerance is kindness. Sometimes it is, but when it's pointed at your own weakness, it's slow suicide. It kills your edge. It softens your will. It makes peace with the very habits that keep you small. You don't build a powerful identity by accepting everything. You build it by rejecting what doesn't align. By saying no, not just to others, but to your own lower self. That's what discipline really is. It's not punishment, it's protection. Protection from becoming a man you'd hate to live with. Protection from mediocrity disguised as self-love. So ask yourself, what are you tolerating that's slowly turning into identity? What are you letting slide that's silently deciding your fate? Because in the end, the man you become isn't decided by your dreams, it's decided by your standards. And your standards are proven by what you refuse to tolerate. Every choice you make is a message, not just to yourself, but to the world. Every skipped workout, every lazy morning, every broken promise is not hidden. You think no one sees, but your results do. Your body does. Your energy does. Your life does. You're not anonymous. Your discipline, or your lack of it, is written all over your face. Your posture, your tone, your eyes. There's no hiding from the truth. It bleeds out of you. You can fake words, you can fake confidence, but you can't fake patterns. You can't fake consistency. And people can read you without even trying, because energy doesn't. Every action is a vote, and every vote builds a reputation, one that follows you everywhere, even in silence. When you walk into a room, people can feel who you are, not because you told them, but because you've been living it. You become the man who trains even when he's tired, the man who keeps promises, even when no one's watching, the man whose habits speak louder than other people's words. And that man, he doesn't need to explain himself. He is the explanation. His presence commands respect without ever asking for it. But the opposite is true too. If you're the man who constantly says, "I'll start tomorrow, just this once, I deserve a break," you're also building a reputation, one that leaks weakness, inconsistency, and insecurity. You don't need to announce your identity. You already are. Through every decision, every pattern, every repetition, you're broadcasting who you are becoming. So what are you broadcasting? What do your routines say about you? What does your discipline or your excuses tell the world before you even speak? You want to be respected. Then make choices that earn it, quietly, consistently, obsessively. Let your actions speak so clearly that your identity becomes undeniable, because in this life, you don't get what you want. You get what you repeat. And the world reads your repetitions like a book, one you're writing every day, with or without awareness. So write a story you're proud of, one where your actions align with your values, one where your effort becomes your legacy. You don't need to convince anyone of who you are, you just need to live it. So loud and so disciplined that even silence sounds like power. This is inner motion. We don't run from the dark, we walk straight into it and we come out unrecognizable. You want to change your life? Don't start with vision, start with repetition. Not with motivation, with motion. Not with what if, but with what now. Because the truth is, your future isn't written in dreams, it's written in patterns. And your identity, it's not some mystery to be discovered. It's a decision, and it's earned that the man you want to become, he already exists. He's built with every rep, every hour, every hard choice you're avoiding right now. He's not hiding from you. You're hiding from him. And the only thing standing between you and that version of yourself is your tolerance for weakness, your attachment to comfort, your addiction to delay. So let this be your wake-up call, not the kind that inspires you for an hour, but the kind that cuts deep enough to change you. You don't need permission. You don't need a second chance. You don't need a sign. You need discipline. You need standards. You need to stop negotiating with the part of you that's comfortable being average. The man you admire, he's not lucky. He's not special. He just chose differently, and he never stopped. So choose. Choose to show up. Choose to execute. Choose to become someone you'd follow into war, because every choice is who you are. And if you don't like who that is, it's time to make different ones. This is inner motion, and we don't chase potential. We become it.